Today, we're going to talk about why I no longer have New Year's resolutions and why I believe the key to success, especially when it comes to fitness and staying active, is habits. Now, we all know that exercise is important. It helps reduce our risk of cardiovascular disease. It helps us keep our mind sharp. It helps us sleep better. And overall, it just helps us to improve our quality of life. And while we know that staying active is very important, how many of us have already ditched our New Year's resolutions just 2 weeks into the new year? Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm a physical therapist, and today I'm going to share with you my 6 best tips for starting an exercise habit. And while we're doing this today, I'm just going to do a few exercises because, hey, I need to stay active too. So, to begin my workout, I just need to get my heart rate up a little bit. So, I'm going to do a few marching in place. The first key to building a habit that I'd like to share is just starting small but staying consistent. You'll want to focus on consistency over intensity. Starting small will help avoid burnout because if you get sore from doing way too much the first day, the last thing you're going to want to do the next time it's time to work out is do it again because you'll remember how sore you felt. Now I'm going to stretch my calf muscles while I tell you about tip number 2. Tip number 2 is just to attach the new habit to your existing routine. So, for example, one of the things that I like to do is when I get home from work, before I even take off my shoes, I'll give Jersey a little walk. We'll just go around a couple of blocks. This gives her a little break from being in the house and it gets me a little extra exercise. Now, I don't know what your routine is, but try to think of things that you can do or things throughout your day of where you can fit in a few minutes of exercise just to get you started. My next exercise is just a little bit of hip abduction. I just want to tell you these tips and show you that working out doesn't have to be big and complicated and frustrating. So, the next tip on my list, tip number 3, is to prepare and remove barriers. This may be something as simple as setting out your shoes the night before or making sure your workout equipment is conveniently located. The key is we want to make starting the exercise as easy as possible. My next exercise is just for my arms. I'm going to do some scaption. I'm just going to come out on an angle using my 4-pound weights. And the next tip is to track your progress and to celebrate your wins. Now, you can do this using a journal or an app. Back when I used to wear a Fitbit at the end of the day or, getting somewhere near the end of the day, it would show little fireworks when I reached my 10,000 steps. Even those little celebrations can help keep you motivated to keep on going. Now, the next exercise I'm going to do is an overhead press. I'm just going to stand with my feet about hip width apart, engage my core muscles, put the weight slightly in front, and lift up overhead. And the next tip is just to keep the exercises enjoyable and rewarding. So for me, some of the things I like to do is dance, go for walks with a family member, maybe ride my bike in the summer. But in the winter, a lot of times I just enjoy getting my equipment that I have, and I don't have a lot, and just starting to do a few exercises. While I'm exercising, one of the things that I like to do is listen to my favorite podcast. And, if you're listening to somebody like Mel Robbins, you could be exercising for quite some time and the time will just fly by. Hi, Joyce. So the last exercise I have today, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've been joined by Jersey, is a heel raise. I'm going to go up and down on the toes while my feet are a few inches apart, maybe about shoulder distance apart. And I'm just going to go up and down on my toes. And my last tip is to focus on identity, not perfection. What this means is you want to start telling yourself that you're a person who enjoys exercise. You're a person who values fitness. If you make your goal to be something like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, that's not going to help you to change the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as a person who gets up and goes for a walk every morning, then you'll become a person who gets up and goes for a walk every morning. And when you do these things, if you see yourself as a person who stays active, you're more likely to continue the habit for the long term. When you tell yourself you're an active person, you're focusing on who you want to become. Fitness becomes part of your identity instead of just a task or a chore that needs to be completed. If you found these tips helpful, please watch the next video here.